Welcome back, everybody. You are watching the Now Morning Show right here on TTT. Now, we went from learning about the different party drugs and the dangers that that are entailed in them, and we're going to have some more education, but on a different note now, we're going to speak about the Integrated Arts and Technology Project. And with me this morning is Alison Seapole, who's a dance specialist. With me as well as Kimberly Boyd, Fulbright Specialist in Art Integration, and as well Noreen Nalia, who's a Deputy Public Affairs Officer, a representative from the U.S. Embassy. Good morning, everyone, and welcome.
Good morning.
So first off, how do we integrate art and technology? They seem like somewhat opposing fields.
Well, the integration of arts and technology really is acknowledging that we are in an age where technology is pervasive. It's in everything. And so the particular way in which this project integrates it is as a platform for broadening and expanding access to innovative educational practices. So my particular specialty is integrating movement and dance with core curriculum, and we're focusing on math and science right now. And so,
Math and science with
yes,
dance.
absolutely, absolutely. And so we are working with the connection human to human on how in live classrooms we can enhance the teaching toolkit of the teachers both in the classroom for math and science and the dance teachers, and then sharing ideas and integrating the use of technology in order to broaden our access to that.
Wow, it sounds extremely interesting, but I need more explanation so I could really fully grasp how does science and math go together with dance, for instance, or even other art forms?
We appreciate that in any art form, there are tools and skills, competencies, and structures that help us understand that art form. So for dance, I'm thinking about how the body uses energy, space, and time, and how any curriculum that I'm looking at is a commission. So if someone were to pick up the phone and ask me to create a dance about fill in the blank, I could do so. So when we are creating a dance about helping students understand that in a fraction, that bottom number, the denominator, first of all, there's two numbers represented in a fraction.
Right.
In the States at least, there's going to be some assessment that asks you to identify that the top number in the fraction is the numerator and the bottom number is the denominator, right? So we can embody our understanding so that it's not just trying to remember,
Right.
but we are using what we know about neuroscience and the ability to create multiple opportunities to really learn and think critically and creatively about the subject matter, so it's more than just sit and get chalk and talk, sage on stage, but you must embody the understanding. And then the natural assessment is that if I can then now say, everyone, show me the space of the numerator, right? Everyone should be able to go on the top level. The
Right.
denominator is on the bottom. So one of the things, so that's very simple, but what the teachers have diagnosed is that students have a challenging time understanding that that bottom number, even though it may be big, represents a decrease, right?
Right.
In whatever it is that you are sectioning, piecing apart, sharing.
Right.
They think because they see 1/8 and 1/2, that the 8 is bigger than the 2, so the 8 must mean a larger quantity.
Right, yes.
So we use the tools of movement and improvisation to create a performance space in which you can see the difference between if you have the whole entire area in which to dance, what does that feel like? You can be very expansive in your movement. And then we cut it into half, right?
Right.
And then we cut it into quarter. And then by the time we get to the 1/8, you realize that, oh, it's 1/8, but I have to make my movements very, very small. Dancers and choreographers think about our use of space and how we move bodies through space for a creative purpose. Right? So the practice of arts integration is taking a look at how the art form can engage the students in the creative process themselves, so they're not just trying to memorize, but they embody the understanding. The teacher has an additional tool of assessment, because I can see whether or not you understand by
Right.
the dance that you do.
Oh, that is fantastic. And I want to bring my two other guests in as well. And just to say, I can't wait to see an equation performed in front of me.
What you doing Thursday?
So, and that is actually part of what we're doing. So this is an initiative that's been about 3 years between the U.S. Embassy and the Ministry of
it's a bit
Education.
more.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I have to say, it's one of the first things that happened when I came to Trinidad and Tobago. A public affairs officer told me about this project, and he said, it's amazing. We really want to support it because Alison and her team from the Ministry of Education came to us with this idea, and they said, this is what we want to do, and you know, we made it happen. We were able to get a couple of Fulbright specialists. Kimberly's our second,
Yes.
and we've done this. So this is an ongoing program, just identifying that, you know, the world that our children live in now is moving fast. Technology moves quickly, and as such, sometimes it's harder to keep their attention, and we have to think
Right.
of new ways in which to do it, new ways in which to teach, new ways in which to engage, and that's been fantastic.
Yeah, actually, it started in 2013
2015.
when the Ministry of Education sent 4 visual and performing
That's right.
arts officers to
Right.
the Kennedy Center to see how they integrated to an integrated arts seminar. And so we were learned about this strategy. And in 2015, the then Public Affairs Officer invited us to his office, and this idea of using the integrated arts in teaching was born. And we had the launch in 2017, and in 2018 we had Deborah Kushmal Moore, hope I got her name correct,
Yes.
who is also a Fulbright specialist,
Right.
but her specialty was music and English language arts. And now we have Kimberly Boyd here with dance, science, and math.
And on the
Amazing.
topic of coming to see it, we have our showcase tomorrow. So at
It's going to be at the National Energy Skills Center
Right.
in Point Lisas.
yes.
So you're welcome to come and see
The-
a math.
a math equation
right.
in dance.
Yes, in dance. And participate.
Yes.
I don't know about the participation part. I think I'll leave that to
I
the
have to do
professionals.
it. You guys have to do it.
participating.
Leave it to me.
Yes, the
Leave it
professionals.
to me.
How do the children respond to the integration of, you know, art and math?
It's very interesting, very well. Actually, I typically begin taking a poll, and I say, okay, we have this idea of integrating dance with math. Raise your hand if you think, yeah, that's a great idea. I think I see how that would happen, right? We count how many. Raise your hand if you think, no, this is not going to work. That's where most of the hands go up until we have an experience, and then we take the poll again. And then when we ask the children, they say, it was an engaging way of learning. We didn't have to just sit down. It felt good to get up and learn. It was nice to learn from each other. We liked that we had to think, but it was fun. Thinking about what we were thinking about. And yes, at the end of the lesson, they actually remember, retain, and understand
Excellent.
at a deeper level
Right.
what it is that we were offering as a lesson.
Okay.
And with your, again, with, as you mentioned, with the neuroscience involved in it
Yes.
and the movement of the body, how the
Yeah.
brain works
I
and
say
stuff.
it's not rocket science, it's neuroscience, why it works.
And just before we close off, let's just back tag the event is tomorrow.
Yes.
When and where?
National Energy Skills Center at Point Lisas.
Right.
And it runs from 9 to 2, but we have the official ceremony with stakeholders speaking from 10 to 12. And you will see demonstration lessons, teachers will be participating, and members of the audience as well.
All right, all right. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. It sounds so exciting.
I
and-
like
and
it.
yes, I
I
do,
love it.
a lot.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Alison C. Paul, dance specialist, Kimberly Boyd, Fulbright specialist in art integration, and thank you so much, Noreen Nalia, Deputy Public Affairs Officer, representative from the U.S. Embassy.
Thank you.
Joining
You're
us.
so welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. We're going to take a short break and come right back. Stay with us.